for
Welcome to
some
the
reason.
United States of Tiffany. Our commentary offers a humorous take on wrestling. Please note, we're not bullying or attacking the wrestlers. We're engaging with the choreographed sport and its storylines. Our jokes and observations are about the characters and storylines, not the real people behind them. Tourists and citizens alike, welcome. Enjoy the show, and remember, it's all in good fun.
They do sometimes, but when Lonzo normally comes to the game, is to give Donovan a breather and let him run and let Lonzo run the second offense.
So who was giving him the breather before Lonzo got there?
Let me see, because Garland was still healthy, so Donovan was at his natural position playing the two. You had
so Donovan isn't playing his natural.
Mm-mm.
So they would be on the floor at the same time if Garland was healthy and playing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was right in my original assessment, because I was confused as to why he wasn't on the floor with him, because I know for a fact that didn't sound right.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, so he would be relieving Garland originally.
Yeah.
Okay, babe. I'm just asking because I was confused. Okay. Hello. How are you doing? Yes. I hope everyone is well. If you missed Smackdown, you missed quite the treat, love. It was very, very good. Let us get into it, yes? Yes. The show kicked off with Cody. He decided to come out and, talk, as he always do. They were in Arizona. And he basically said that, he'd been on one for a little while. And everybody is very shocked at his behavior. And he said he did something that he normally wouldn't do, which is he came out with his belt and cracked Drew right in the face with it. And he said, I guess y'all expect me to give this man some sort of an apology. And I'm not doing it. And Drew McIntyre, in true Mafia enforcer fashion, decided to come out there and say he doesn't require an apology. He doesn't want one. He doesn't need one. He said, you people boo me and you cheer this corporate stooge and his bullshit and blah, blah, blah bullshit. The sentiments of Boondocks is even more relevant now in this current government than forever, when that nigga said blah blah gay sex blah blah Congress. Cause it's true. Anyways, I kept it on the USA Network, and Braun Strowman's show is very good. If you haven't been watching it, it's funny. He's always been funny and charismatic, so I knew he would do well in this type of format. But I think it's really good and really, really cool. I hope they keep the show, because I think it would be a great show to continue on, because there's no shows like this anymore. And to bring this kind of format back on USA Network is actually really cute. Ooh, baby, they got a little sweet potato mash spread, and then they put a nice little glaze on the chop, and the glaze drip down into the mash. It look real nice. I'ma steal that. Okay, we ain't gonna go there and get it. We just gonna make it. Anyway, He then proceeds to blame Jimmy and says that Jimmy, was back there. I saw you back there talking to Jimmy. Jimmy probably did it. His brother got another title shot. He ain't never had one. He can't find no single success. Maybe he's the one who attacked him. I mean, every time Big Jim gets something, every time Jay gets something and everybody else gets something, Jimmy's jealous. That would mean something if Jay Uso had got the title shot last week. Jimmy was also getting a possible title shot this week, along with his brother and several other people. So the logic of it is flawed, right? Now, this led to Cody losing his shit again, which is very out of character for him, don't you think? He's just angry. And I'm like, why are you so mad? I'm like, what's happening? Why are you so angry?
Had 37 the other night.
So,
oh shit.
Cody said, fuck all this talking. I don't want to talk to you no more. You keep blaming everybody else when you know you did that shit. He was like, we can fight right now, goddammit. We ain't got to wait till next week. Cody took all his shit off. He had 17 coats on when he was out there. He took all his shit off and just went at it.
Damn.
And then, out of nowhere, Jimmy attacks Drew. And when I say Jimmy was on his ass, Jimmy was on his ass. They was out there getting it in, scrapping. Okay? Now, they had to separate Jim and Drew, and then Jim later on in the night goes to Nick and demands a fight against Drew McIntyre. Okay, Jimmy does this. And Nick says, okay, fine. You want to have a match? Let me get some things together, move some stuff around, and you got it. Now, in the midst of all of them fighting and having a little scrap session, the MFTs came out there like ain't nothing that was going on. They didn't have no fucking care in the world. They didn't give a shit about what was happening. They didn't give a fuck. They was walking out there solo and them music hit. They came walking out there face paint and all. They ain't give a shit. They ain't care about none of that. They were like, we don't give a fuck. Y'all finished. We coming out here. And that was because they had a tag team match. It was Shinsuke and Rey Fenix versus two members of the MFT, which happened to be, what's his name? What's his name? The chunky one. The chunkiest of in the group. The one with the round pie moon face. What is his name?
JC Mateo.
That's it. Mateo. It was Mateo and it was Tama Tonga that was in the ring. Now listen, Tama Tonga done got a little thickums. But it seems over the last couple of weeks he's been hitting the gym and he's starting to tighten up and tone up. Okay? It's scurry. It's scurry out here in these streets. When that man tones up the weight that he gained, no, you need to run for your life. Run for your lives. That's what you need to be doing, okay? Get your ass up out of there. Anywhoosies, Mateo and Tama Tonga, they went up against Shinsuke and Rey Fenix, who actually made a pretty decent team. They actually did pretty damn well in this match. However, of course, Solo's not going to let them lose after they just did all this rebranding. So Solo gets in the ring and causes the interference, to which Tongaloa and you've got Toa out there interfering in the match, which cost Shinsuke and Rey Fenix, and they ended up getting beat. Okay? And I hate that for Shinsuke and Rey Fenix. I hate that for them. But it is what it is, unfortunately. Moving on. Tiffany Stratton had a match with fuck ass Kiana. And I ain't gonna lie, this was probably one of her best matches as a champion. This was one of the best ones. And it was all because of fuck ass Kiana. I give her all of the blues in the world, character-wise. But as far as her in-ring work, I've never ever said that she wasn't solid at what she does, because she most definitely is. And I respect that a lot. But she gets on my nerves because she overacts. And I feel like you can be a bitch without doing all the extra frills and thrills. And Kiana has the ability to be great, but she just don't have the chops to, I don't know, I guess it's her execution of her nastiness. I don't hate it, but it's just very lackadaisical to me. And I don't like her. Character wise, I don't know anything else about Kiana as a person or outside of her character. So as far as I know, I don't like her character, and I'm not supposed to. She's a bitch. Anyways, the match itself was pretty decent, but that ain't what you need to be worried about. What you need to be worried about is Jade. You see, when the match was over, Julia attacked Tiffany for beating fuck ass Kiana. Okay, she didn't like that. Then Jay's music hit. She got rid of both of them hoes and was like, nah, get y'all asses out of there. And then she clotheslined the shit out of Tiffany. She beat the brakes off of that bitch. She beat her ass. When I tell you Tiffany Stratton did not know what was coming, and I don't know why, but she got her ass whipped. Jay beat her ass. Now, when she got in the back, Kathy came up to her and was like, why did you go after her? Why did you target her? She was like, she said, I don't have no reason to, question nothing. That would mean I would have to apologize. Okay. She was like, I'm not gonna apologize. She said, if I made a mistake, then it requires an apology. But she was like, listen, my only mistake was coming to this place and thinking that patience would be rewarded. She was like, now I'm not waiting on nothing. I'm taking it. And I'm gonna start with that WWE Women's Championship. And I was like, Periana, whoop her ass. Because we're tired. We're tired. We're tired of the cheap wins. We're tired of the scapegoats. We're tired of the constant ducking and the dodging and the bullshit. We sick of it. We sick of it. We're tired. Jay beat her ass. It was a well-deserved ass whooping. And I was like, Periana, give it all to her. 10s across the board. Loved it. Now, our newly crowned United States champion came out. And this was after he talked to Sami Zayn. Sami did not get cleared. So Sami was not medically cleared to compete in the match or any match for that night. He went to go see the doctors, and the doctors pretty much told him, yeah, you're going to have to sit this week out. He ran into Sami, and Sami basically told him, he said, I didn't get to tell you because last week we got jumped by the MFTs, but he said, I wanted to let you know that congratulations on your return and congratulations on your championship. He said, I'm not sad that I lost. I lost to a fighter, and I know you're going to be a fighting champion. I heard you plan on keeping this open challenge alive. He said, it's not easy. You got to be strong, and you have to be able to maintain fighting every single week. Damn, did you see that? Yeah. Good Lord. Sorry, y'all. Something came on the TV. It was scary as hell. Anyway, he said you have to maintain fighting every single week. And it's not for the weak, faint of heart. And basically, Ilya was like, I got it. You ain't got to worry about that, baby. So Ilya is going to keep up with the open challenge. And he did. He told everybody that he missed everybody and that whoever comes up for this open challenge, Pain is going to be your entertainment tonight. So who to enter? None other than Aleister Black and his wife, Zelina Vega. Now, prior to this, the comparisons of Aleister and Cross and Vega and Scarlett, I didn't see any. I saw no real comparison between them. To be fair, I do think that their entrance is similar, but it's not exactly the same. I can understand how some people are like, oh, I see a lot of Cross in this. I see a lot of Scarlett in this, and that's fair. But there were people who were predecessors to Cross and Scarlett on the main roster who had dark character work, and they did very similar behavior. So I can't necessarily, I don't want to equate them to being the same thing. I really don't. I think that they shouldn't have them be in that same vein, even though they're dark and brooding. I don't think they should be like Selena was she was very much all over black, and it just was weird. It was weird to me. Zelina is smaller than him, so she's just bumping into his shoulder at this point, and it was just like, it was like, girl, what's happening? Are you okay? I was like, oh, okay. So we got a really decent match between Alistair and our resident Russian king here, Ilya Dragunov. It was a really good match. Really liked the matchup between the two men, but it all broke down in the end when Zelina got involved. Zelina got involved twice. She hit a Hurricane Rana on Ilya, then she turned around and grabbed him and pulled him out the ring, and the ref saw her. Once that happened, the ref took a minute to kind of get himself together, but eventually he threw Zelina Vega out. Or so we thought. Because as Zelina Vega was getting put out, Damian Priest's music hit and he shows up. This was enough distraction for Ilya to be able to hit his signature move. Well, one of his finishers. The H-bomb is his signature move. He was able to hit his finisher, and that's how he was able to get the win over Alistair. This led to a little bit of a feud fight between Damian and Alistair Black, to which Zelina Vega also got involved, ripping the skin off of Damian Priest's burnt face. It was pretty bad. So, shit is getting real. Alistair and Zelina Vega crawled away while Damian Priest stood on the announcer's table looking to see if they were coming, if he could see them, and he was tore up in the face. Now listen, he's not gonna be able to fight Alistair and his wife on his own. My call is to go get Lola's ass from NXT. She ain't doing shit but running around with Mr. Iguana and fucking up the shit he got going on in AAA. Get your ass up, fly to the next city, and come stand by your man. Okay? Girl is work. Shit. You ain't gotta worry about shit. You coming to defend your man. You need to back fist Zelina's ass and take her ass out so Damien can get some peace out here. Okay? Now we got some backstage segments between a few people. It wasn't a lot of backstage, but it was about two. So let's go over the backstage stuff. Carmelo was being interviewed by Kathy, and she basically asked Carmelo about the situation that happened last week. Carmelo essentially was like, look, y'all, I'm not going to disrespect Miz. Miz is a Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer, two-time WWE champion. The list goes on, but I got to get mine, and he's in my way. So if you ask me, I'm calling it even. I have no beef with him. We're done. It's over. He said, now the old me would have been trying to get my lick back every time I saw him. But now I'm trying to focus and do what I got to do, and he will be a distraction. So I'm letting it go, and it is what it is. I'm not going there. Then Kit walked up, and Kit was just like, the words you're using are super toxic. They're on the toxic masculinity phase, and it's just unnecessary. And I'm like, everything that Carmelo said was actually quite healthy. He's not trying to rest in that anger and frustration and in the loss. He's actually progressing and moving forward to get himself back to the top of who he believes he is, which is him. That is healthy boundaries that he's setting. I don't understand why Kit believes that is toxic. I'm not understanding. But he wrote his mouth wrote a check that his ass can't cash, because now next week Kit is going to be facing off against Carmelo Hayes. Speaking of facing off, Twisted Queens was backstage with Kathy having a conversation about Bayley confronting, basically calling out both Charlotte and Bliss with their tag team titles wanting a tag team title shot. And of course, Bliss and Charlotte accepted the call out. And then here come Nia with her lonely ass. Nia coming in there talking about how y'all is so cute that y'all faking being friends so y'all could be champions. We love that for you. But we both know that one of you is going to turn on the other. And I can't wait to see who's going to stab the other in the back. Although I know exactly who's going to do it. One knife, you're hugging her in one hand and a knife in the other. And Charlotte was like, oh my God, it just seems like you've been hurt so much. She was like, don't mind her. She's been hurt a lot. Okay. And with that, people like to project their pain onto others. I used to be like you. And then I learned and I moved forward. And she was like, you need to do the same. Go do the work. And she was like, it's okay, Charlotte. It's okay, babe. She was like, look, I've changed and I've grown. But if you want to see the old me, I'm not hard to find. I'm right here. And she was like, oh, that's big talk coming from such a little girl. And Charlotte was like, yeah, you might want to back your big ass up. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Get your tacky ass out here. Dress like somebody's fake ass rich auntie. Gone. You and that bust down is getting on my nerves. Anyways. So that's what the backstage segments included. Okay. Now, let's get to the matchup. The whole time, too, that the conversation was being had, there was a conversation backstage, too, with fuck ass Kiana, Julia, and Chelsea. Now, Chelsea was back there trying to recruit because, Piper's down. And if y'all don't know, Piper has a neck injury. It's very, very severe, apparently. And that said neck injury is career ending, they say. I'm hoping that that's not true. I hope Piper can get the neck surgery and she can rehab, and later on down the line, Piper can return. I only want her to return if this was possible, right? So that's outside of kayfabe. She actually does have an injury, though. Anywhoosies, we're going to move on. Because in the back, Chelsea was trying to recruit Julia. Kiana kind of thwarted it, but Julia wasn't having it. And in the background, you saw Nikki Cross lurking in the background while everybody was arguing about Julia, Kiana, and everything in between. It was just a lot going on. And I'm like, y'all ain't see Nikki Cross back there? Just haunting everybody's dreams and shit? Anywhoosies, we get to the final match, which was the no disqualification match. Pretty decent match, I'm not going to lie. I was hoping they gave that match to Jim. He could have picked up the win, and Drew McIntyre could have beat up on Jim and laid him out. But they decided to let him win, and I really hate that. Jimmy hasn't had like a real win of his own since he's been a singles competitor, and I hate that because he's a really good superstar. He's a great wrestler, and I know that he can do great things. I just want him to have the opportunity to do so, and they're not giving it to him. And it really sucks because Drew's had many opportunities, multiple, and here he is now with a title shot at Saturday Night Main Event next week, and Jimmy's not getting anything. So they could have gave him this fucking match. Like, I was so pissed. I was so fucking mad at them for this. I was so angry. Anyways.
Ah, shit, my fault. Wrong button.
I'm sorry, but there's another episode of Braun Eats Everything on the Menu. And there was a lady that was sitting there that recognized him and her mouth just dropped open. Oh, where they at? Are they in DC? Oh, it's the Soul Food Smackdown for this one. Oh, look at the owner. She looks so nice. She's like my grandma. Just not as frail, She's not as frail as my G-Ma is. Anyway, The match was good. This nigga still eating while they talking. That's just rude. But anyway, the match was good between Jim and Drew. Drew won. Jimmy had it. He Samoan dropped him through the table. But instead of just letting that be the culmination, he had to try to put an exclamation point on it. And that's where he lost. Oh. And he ended up getting thrown a chair in his face. Fucking gnarly. Drew ended up picking up the win. She looked just like her mom. Oh, she looks just like her mom. Wow. Spitting image. Anyways, that phone was broke as hell. After that was over, it took Cody forever to come out there. He had the chair wrapped around that man's throat. The chair was in his throat. Jimmy gasping for air, spitting. Kenny Dykstra and them came out there to try to get the man off. Child, his music didn't hit until all the referees and the producers was out there. I was like, why the fuck did you wait so late? Damn. And it didn't matter because he ended up suffering a claymore for his trouble too. Got his ass whipped. Baby. Y'all gonna fuck around and and Cody gonna lose this damn title to motherfucking Drew McIntyre. And I would be mad as hell. Because hell no. That's it. That's all. I gotta get my charger cord for my computer. My computer finna cut off. Okay. If my computer cut off, y'all, just hold tight. Because I have to get the charger cord for it. Oh, my knee hurt. Yeah. Ooh. The cord all the way in front of the bed, child. Okay, I'm going to make this short and sweet. That was Smackdown. Expect next week's Smackdown to be crazy. Okay? But they did add a new match to Saturday Night Main Event. Tiffany Stratton is going to face off against Jade Cargill for the WWE Women's Championship. And I need that hoe to drop it like yesterday. Okay, so currently there are 3 matches on the card. This weekend, Saturday, which is tomorrow, is Halloween Havoc. You got 6 matches on the card for this show. I'm just going to run through them quick and then we out of here. You got the tag team match with Mr. Iguana, La Parka, Leon Slater, and Javon Evans. You have the North American Championship match. Ethan Page is defending against Dr. Wagner Jr. in a Day of the Dead match. Then you have Zarya, the interim champion, defending against Blake Monroe for the women's North American Championship. Then the tag team titles are being defended in a Broken Rules match. And then you have the women's championship being defended against Tatum Paxley and the men's title being defended against Trick Williams. Y'all, I will be back on Saturday to talk all about this to see who won. This match is the one you need to be paying attention to. Okay? I will see you guys tomorrow after Halloween Havoc. Okay? Love you to bunches. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more wrestling content. Check out our merch and consider becoming a member for exclusive perks, special emojis, and members-only content.